What's up, dwarves, demons, and scaly boys? Welcome back to the Fantasy Files Podcast, the podcast that wastes hours of your life that you're never getting back. We are your co hosts, Spencer, Gabe, and Chris, and today we'll be discussing the seventh book of King's Dark Tidings, Ritual of Ruin. Full spoilers are ahead, so beware if you have not read this book yet. We won't be holding back. Links are in the description. We got Twitter, we got Discord, we got Patreon, and on Patreon you can watch along with us live. Thank you, Shad, and just like Shad is. And so you can chat with us here, and when we have authors on, you can ask them questions and stuff. So Patreon is the way to go. It's the best way to support us, and you get a lot out of it. But also down there is SpeakPipe, where you can leave us a voice message and ask us questions that we'll play on the podcast and respond to. It's basically like a voicemail. So check that out if you're so inclined. But with all that, we are going to get right into it. Welcome back, Chris. Nice to
Hey,
see you again.
yeah, you guys too. Good to see you.
Feels like it's been a while.
It has,
Um,
yes.
but uh, but yeah, we're talking about the new KDT book. I want to ask, did you guys have any expectations going into this book? What were you thinking as, we kind of ramped up to the release of this book? Was there any like lingering questions from the previous book where you're like, "Oh, like what about this?" or I want to see like what were you expecting?
Well, I guess I was expecting some things to try to draw towards closure, I thought.
Mhm. Yeah.
But that was one of the things I was trying to remember, and I'm sure Kelkate has said this at some point, but did she tell us at one point how many books she's going for?
No, people
Okay.
have guessed. People have guessed like 9 or 10. But she's basically said the like paraphrased what she said on this podcast
Hmm.
was, "I'm gonna go until Rezkin's story is over."
Okay. Okay.
So, it does feel like we're kind of getting to the end here.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I would wonder. I, I would think with the storylines that are left, I think book 10 would probably be a good place to wrap it up, I think.
Right. Okay. So even three more books after this total, you'd think. Okay.
Maybe. I mean, maybe she could do it by book 9. Shad says I think there are one or two more books left.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of what it feels like. Uh, you know, they're in it. The main story, the main plot is, you know,
Right there in front of us.
right there in front of us, and it's like
Yeah.
almost solved. It's
Mhm.
almost fixed. So I
Yeah.
don't know. That
All
was my, well, I shouldn't say expectation, but that's kind of what I was hoping for was, you know, a little bit of closure,
yeah.
and I guess we got a little bit, but uh, I was hoping for more.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so was I. It's like we we liked the first couple books, or at least I did, and
Mhm.
I know you guys did too, because of the central characters and the kind of concise,
Yeah.
like constrained plot. And then over these last several books, it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah,
It's
now
like you
it's
start
huge.
introducing all these new uh, characters and races and places.
Yeah.
Factions. We got like
Yeah,
there's like 5 factions now
We
that,
added a whole new faction this book.
yeah.
yeah, and I kind of think, yeah, I guess I didn't need like another
I know.
faction is
I I
my
felt the same way when at the beginning of this book when the Ielvenon mentioned the dwarves, which I thought was funny. They were like Darwavin, and
yeah,
so if you just like mix those letters around, it just spells Dwarven.
dwarves, yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
dwarven dwarves,
I
yeah.
was like, what the heck? But yeah, I think I really didn't need another faction, and as soon as I realized that that's the way this was going, I'm like, man, there's so many things that we haven't explored that, and we're still getting new stuff added, but we haven't been.
Haven't fleshed out what we already have.
Yeah, we haven't fleshed out what we already have. We haven't been like a steward of the seeds that were planted earlier.
Right.
Um, yeah, Shad, exactly. Um, and I think there is so much left on the table that is from the earlier books that would have been so good to explore. Um, and it's not like it's over or anything, but like we said, we're getting to the end of the story, and if the books are only, if the audiobooks are only like 10 hours long, that doesn't. I think the books either need to be longer
Yeah.
and to accommodate all of these extra plot lines,
Right.
or we need to start ripping out plot lines. Like I'm not too bummed that Pruari plot line went nowhere, like the land where they were all like shapeshifters and stuff.
Right. But
I'm
like
like,
that it seems so pointless in retrospect to have that almost too. Like
I
I don't
know,
know.
yeah, it's like that character Tasei has
It's just
has
gone.
just gone, has never come back. I'm like, what was the point of the bond with her? Like we never explored that. Um and like introducing the elves, like those, that felt like a solid plot line, but like the dwarves, we get introduced to this dwarf, and then she like goes to Kyle, and then we never hear anything about it. And I'm sure she'll come back with her machines and everything, and we'll see those like play a part.
Yeah, sure.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I hope they are too, Shad. He says I feel like the final books will be longer, or at least I hope so. Um, and yeah, I hope so too. I hope we start getting some longer books, because like there was so much crammed into this book, and it just, like the plot felt like it was zigzagging all over the place. And I was like, now we're here, now we're here, now we're here, now we're here.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what is this story? And there's a thing from Reddit that I'd like to read.
Yeah.
Um, because I think that this really sums up my thoughts, because I didn't like really dislike this book. I was just that's why I ask about expectations, is because I was just expecting more from this next book. I didn't know what it was going to be. I didn't really have a whole lot of theories. But I know that I was kind of expecting more than what we have here. So the title of this is, As an Ardent Fan of Kingstark Tidings, My Review of KDT Book 7. This is from Fused Pumpkin on the KDT Reddit. He says, or she says, it started off good. Rezkin and Azaria versus Cadian. Bold start. I also didn't quite like the introduction of new characters, because
Yep.
the existing ones, the nobles, are excellent and well established.
Yeah.
Kell's fascination with introducing new characters and abandoning them is a lacuna of this series since book 5. And I would agree that book 5, I'm not one to say like everything's fallen off after book 5, because I really, really like actually enjoyed book 6.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like every book since book 5, we've gotten these new characters, and they've just kind of gone nowhere. Um, and I feel like we're not doing things with the old characters. Like, what happened to Conovan? What happened
Right.
to, just like so many, like Raylan and Jimson? Like, where are they now? Like,
That
Yeah.
that assassin that was
yeah,
from
the
the
Zha
Yeah.
Ri.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, where are they? It's just
Yeah.
like, and even Frisha and Tyrion, like we got a little bit of them in the last book.
No
And
Frisha, who
Yeah,
like
we didn't.
all the
Did
shit
we,
we've talked about Frisha, she's an OG character. You know, she deserves a
yeah,
little more.
she
Like,
deserves
did she show
more.
up at all in this book?
Barely.
she slapped Rezkin, but that was it.
Hmm.
When Rezkin revealed himself on the docks, she like ran up to him and like slapped him, and then
Yeah.
she hugged Tam, and then she was
Yep.
gone. And she was
That's it.
gone. Dwarves were interesting, but there are like 37 of them.
36. No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
The Lon Laresh arc in book 4 was an excellent addition because it was a fleshed out kingdom with good characters.
Mhm.
Same cannot be said for Pruar Dwarven
Yes,
Kingdom.
this was a single chapter.
Yep.
It was pretty much just a single chapter that they spent in the Dwarven Kingdom. It was like, oh, here's this sick dome in this far off land,
Yeah.
and they're you found the dwarves, they built you armor. Next chapter. It's like,
Right.
oh, what? Okay.
Yeah. I was kind of surprised for such a fabled like mythical race of people. They were just like, "Oh, we're here now."
Yeah.
There wasn't really like a struggle to go find them or anything like that. Um, what does Shad say here? Yeah, Jensen or Jimson and
Yep.
Raylan
Yeah. No
basically
Raylan,
not
right?
mentioned.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Poor
I
Jensen.
liked him too, Shad. I wish they'd
Yeah.
come back. Um, but yeah. So then Azaria and the Rezkin arc also seems not that great. I didn't mind it that much. I can see Kel did her best, and I respect her, and I love her series. But elves are just too mundane, and their conversations are mostly dry. This is something that I was thinking about during this book. I'm like, man, for as much focus as we get on the Ieldanon, like they are really dry. Like they're really, really, really dry. Like the way they speak is so like stunted and like because on the surface they don't have emotions.
What do
They
you mean
do
by that? Offended.
right, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Like they do feel emotions, but it doesn't lend to a good storytelling, right? Like the
Yeah.
one of the reasons I love this series is all of the very different characters. Like you go back to book 2 and you had all these nobles and commoners and stuff on this ship, and some of the nobility, felt sympathy towards the commoners. Some of them didn't, and some
Right.
of them had character arcs. And then you introduce, Wesson the mage, who's something in between a noble and commoner, and you have people that are starting to come around on Rezkin's ideals for the nobles,
Yeah.
and in the series now, the Ielvanon, they all seem to have like vaguely the same opinions about things. None of them are really in conflict with each other too much. Rezkin, gets found out by Entris in this book, and it's like a 5-minute thing where Entris attacks him, and he's like, "You must be mad because you're alive," and yada yada yada, and then it's
Yeah.
over. And he's like,
Right.
"Oh, okay,
Yeah,
I guess you're not mad."
yeah. Reskin just like asked him. He's like, "Well, I need you to train me." He's like, "Okay."
Yeah. It was kind of underwhelming. I feel like these
Yeah.
things got set up and they just like really did not pay off that much, which was really really too bad. But I like the Ielvanon. I like the idea of them. I like the idea that Rezkin is part of their, race or whatever. Um, but on page, they're just not that interesting to talk to.
Yeah.
Um, and I liked the stuff that Rezkin and Azaria were doing at the beginning of the book. But once it got into like heavily into their like romance and stuff, I was kind of like, man, I'm like, I just don't like feel it with them. Like, usually I'm the romance guy. Usually I'm the one who's like, oh yeah, I loved the romance between these two characters. But something about Azaria and Rezkin, I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I just don't like. I'm not sold on it, and I don't know why. I don't like, and maybe it's because they're both so cold. I think the reason why Frisha worked was because she was the exact opposite of Rezkin, and she had that life and vibrance to her, and she was very dramatic and like, yeah, maybe she was neurotic and annoying sometimes, but she had an energy and a life to her that Azaria just doesn't have. I think she's too similar to Rezkin, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean they're both just ultra badasses that are just
Yeah,
super powerful. Like,
yeah.
And they're both, yeah, kind of, emotionless.
Both emotionless. They both kind of like talk the same. Um, so yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. Um, this guy says I didn't like the Vimarl Spring part. I didn't mind it, except it felt a little bit like a Deus Ex Machina, like
yeah,
a we need this thing. Here's this ancient thing that we got to go find.
power up the
Um,
staff and
Power
like,
up the staff. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't mind it, but I want more to be done with it. I don't think that should have been something we found in this book. I think it should have been like hinted at and foreshadowed a bit more, and then find it later or something. Um, but for them to be like, "Oh, we need this thing," and then one of the elves is like, "Oh yeah, that's over there," and then they're just like, "Okay,
it's just over there. Go find it. Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
all right."
Yeah. That was my problem with it too. It just seemed a little trite. Like, it just like,
Yeah,
okay, I guess I gotta
yeah,
go to Marl Spring now. Like,
yeah. Gotta go get
next
the
next MMO quest. I don't
right.
know.
Yeah, exactly. Um, and so then he says, I love the part when Rezkin comes back as Emperor. This is my favorite part in the entire book.
Hmm.
I love the part when Rezkin comes back as Emperor. I wish we had more to read about that interaction between Rezkin, Tam, Frisha, Ilanette, who is surprisingly
Forgot about
missing,
Illanet. Yeah, right.
despite being mentioned earlier in the book.
Yeah,
Um, Rezkin, Tam, Frisha, Illanet, and the nobles, etc., would have been golden. Would have loved learning about Baron Drom Nask and Waylon as well, because Drom Nask is out in Gendishan,
okay.
like ruling Gendishan. So it would have been cool to check in with them. And then he says also it would have been cool seeing Rezkin execute the like Za Zhengri and claiming the order.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know because Za is bonded to Frisha,
right.
so I don't know how you do that.
Well,
Um,
I think the bond that they have though is just like a protection bond, right? Like he swore to protect her. If she dies, he's got to off himself. But I would think if he dies, then you know, Frisha would still be okay, maybe.
yeah, I'd have to go back and read the rules of it. I'd always thought that if he dies, she dies. If she dies, he dies. But
Um,
maybe that's not the case.
And
I could be totally wrong. Somebody let us know in the comments, or Shad if you're still there and you remember, let us know.
yeah,
Um, so I'll go back. I'll go back and talk about this in a second because there's a comment about it down below. He says, I also wasn't the biggest fan of Wesson's story. It was fine, but it seemed more like an independent story than KDT. And Mia were given too many chapters. I didn't mind this at all. I thought that was some of the better parts of the book.
that was my opinion as well. I was gonna say that the
Yeah,
parts I enjoyed the most were probably Wesson.
yeah,
yep,
Although
I
I, I
agree.
I I wish he would lean into his power a little bit
Was
more. Like,
Demon a little bit more?
well, I just find
I
his like
feel like he
continuing
did.
lack. He did, but he just always has a complete
Mm,
lack of confidence in himself. I'm like, bro,
yeah,
it's book 7. Like,
yeah. It's
you,
book 7.
Plus,
you've
he's
done
like,
he's done some crazy shit at this
yeah,
point.
he's
Like,
like
Yeah,
quite literally the most powerful mage on the ever. It's
I think I think his lack of confidence doesn't come from a knowing lack of his ability. I think it comes from fear in himself
yeah,
to be able to control it.
mm,
And I mean, based on some of the things we saw in this book, like there might be reason to doubt whether he's, not being influenced by his demon or not. Like he was doing some really, really dark shit in this book.
that's
turned
true.
into a serial killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Um,
shit was a little morbid.
Yeah,
I was like,
it was
yeah,
wild. It was really
yeah.
wild.
I was like,
Super out
oh
of character.
shit, we're doing this. Yeah, at first I was like, this is really out of character for Wesson.
that's what I thought too, kind of. Yeah.
And it is, um, but somebody mentioned, I personally loved Wesson in this book. I love seeing him take tiny steps in a direction, and when he looks back, he realizes how far away from his previous morals he is. Um, and I think that's a good way to put it, is that Wesson, I mean, if you go back to the past, like even since book four is when it really started. Because up until book four, he was like, I will not kill for you. Not out of self
Right.
defense, not out of protection. I will
That's
not
right.
kill. And then in book four, he's like, well, our ship is under attack, so I
Yeah,
need
that's
to
right.
attack the enemy. And that's when he like kills and he has like this whole breakdown and
Yeah.
he's in the back of the ship with like this broken jar and he's like, I can't put the jar back together. And Reskin's like, you don't need to. Like, you don't need
Right.
to put it back together. Like, you're perfect just the way you are.
Yeah.
And ever since then, each book he's done more and more and more, where even in book five, um, like he comes downstairs at his mom's house and he's in his battle mage robe and Reskin looks at him and he says battle mage and
Yeah.
Wesson's like
Yeah.
emperor
Yep.
and like both like finally acknowledging this thing that he is. And then in book six he does even more. And so while I felt like this was a little bit of a jump into like, whoa, Wesson's just killing people. Um, it was,
And
you
not
know,
just killing, like experimenting on them. Like,
experimenting on
Yeah.
people. Yeah. Um, I do. I could argue that he's taken like all these little steps and now he's looking back at this path that he's walked and been like, where the hell am I now? Like, I think that's probably an important part of his story, and I'm certainly interested to see where that goes. Um, but yeah, he got stuck on this idea of like he's like I can mess with a mage oath. He's
Yeah,
like
he's
I
not even
know I
stuck.
can.
He's obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And then the other part of that too is, why not focus more on, the most tried and true way to break the mage oath, to take KD out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That would fix, everything he's trying to do can
everything.
be solved by that. But then also everybody else is trying to do the same thing. Could have a
Right.
lot more help if you just helped with
If you
Killing
focused
KD.
on that, yeah,
focused
for
on
sure.
that.
Yep. Um, him being Azaz is fine, but unexpected and not in a wow kind of way. It's more meh. Sorry if that's how I feel. I didn't mind it that much. Um, he says, I love that Kel tried to unnerf Tam. I'm glad we got a lot of Tam in this book.
Yeah.
Um, which I know we were all really upset in
In
the,
the
it's like,
sixth. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like you brought him in for like a paragraph. Um, and so yeah, it was good to get a lot more Tam in this book. And there's some weird stuff going on with him too. There's some
There is.
weird face stuff going on with him. And so I'm interested to see how that plays out. But I cannot believe, I mean, he even says it here. Suggestions for the next book. So this is the part that I think is important.
Hmm.
And I don't know if Kelcade watches our episodes on this stuff, but if she does, I think this is a solid list, and I think most of all it's a fair list. He says suggestions for next book: more social interactions between main characters of books one and two with Reskin. I think that is seriously, we're really in need of that. Um, there's this guy down here who
Yeah.
says This review speaks for most of the people who are disappointed with this book. Her dialogue between characters has really fallen off. Some of the best moments in the series are just conversations. Tyrion and Rezkin on their way back from Tyrion being poisoned, and then Tyrion figuring out that Rez is the true king. Malleus helping Tam come to terms with the difference between him and Rez. Illinet and Tam bonding. Farson and Shazar arguing over Rezkin. These are the moments that get people invested in the characters, and they've been sorely lacking. The whole riverboat ride with the nobles at the start of book 2 is a literary masterpiece.
Yeah.
It's basically hundreds of pages of dialogue with zero action and some of the best writing I have ever experienced. And I upped it because I totally agree. I think book 2 is a masterclass in writing. And I just don't know what's happened with the dialogue since then. It's been so weird how it's kind of fallen off. Number 2 is Tam and Illinet.
Yeah.
Thressen and Tyrion and Frisha, Malleus and Assyria, Les Rezkin and Azaria. Yeah, I was really surprised we did not get Tam and Illinet reunion.
I know.
In this book, I was like, it was. I mean, we had the whole feast and everything. Why did we not have Tam meeting back up with Illinet? She would have been there.
Right.
So
yeah, we got a couple lines about it. Like Tam's like, oh, I haven't talked to her in a long time. It's like, okay.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he did. There was a line. Yeah, where he talks to Rezkin about it.
Yeah.
And he says they've hardly had contact for a period of time.
Oh yeah. Right. The mountain tribes. Again, this is a faction that was introduced early on, and they had a whole thing where they were training warriors at Kylerum.
That's right.
And it's like, whatever happened with that?
Yeah.
Blacksmith of Scutton, she said that he's going to be back.
Wow. Okay.
But again, I mean, we're pretty late into the series. Yeah. Because, I mean, Rezkin told him, because he's the one that made the Black Blade. Yep. And Rezkin told him, hey, if you ever need help, I will find you. And Kelkade has said that he's going to be back, but we haven't seen him yet. Fierden and Adston, from book, what is it now? Would that have been book 3 or book 4?
I was like, I don't even remember those guys, to be honest.
Yeah.
Adston is the leader of the Serpent Guild.
Okay.
And he was training Benny. And Fierden is the disfigured guy that showed up and joined them.
That's a throwback. I mean, we haven't heard from those guys in several books, right?
Right, yeah. It's been a long time.
Okay.
Yeah. Update on Benny, Ram and the second kid who's present during the gauntlet.
That was book 2?
Oh, yeah, that's book 2. I think she said that they're probably never going to be back.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Please don't keep expanding on mage spiritual lore. Keep things grounded. I would agree. I think we've gotten to a point where we've expanded the magic system a lot, and it's kind of okay, we need to just work with what we have instead of adding new MacGuffins.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think we probably need to put a pause on all of the new magic stuff and just kind of work with the system we have, because it's getting
hard to track.
Yeah, it's getting hard to track. It's getting hard to remember what everybody can do.
Yeah.
I think I'm probably good on the magic system we have, I think.
Yes.
The order, I could take it or leave it. The assassin order.
I really liked that part of the previous books. I think it's a really, really cool idea. So it'd be nice to see, but I definitely don't think it's required.
Yeah, I mean, we got some good chapters with them, in previous books, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still think they're like a powerful entity that
Yeah,
plays a role, or should
for
at least,
Yeah.
sure.
right? Like,
Yeah.
Kings of
Well,
espionage.
I think it's kind of weird just to leave them out completely. You know what I mean? Just
the thing that I thought was so cool was when we get the Fearden and Adston and Benny, and they're like up on the rooftop and they're watching all of the guard rotations and everything. And then they send Benny the letter and they're like, go now. And he runs down and he's letting out all of the mages from the prison cells.
yeah,
And then he gets attacked and all of a sudden somebody saves him and he's like, who are you? And he's like, I'm an assassin from the order. And Benny's in the Thieves Guild and he's like, holy shit. And suddenly we're seeing the Ravens' plans come into effect where
right,
the Thieves Guilds are all working together with each other. The assassins are working together with the Thieves Guilds, and they're going in and saving the nobility. And so that I love that moment because it's
yeah,
like, oh wow, the plans are like really all coming together. And again, we haven't seen that kind of coordination um, in a long time. Like that was a really cool moment when you realize that all of these people from different groups are all working together.
right.
And the closest thing that we've gotten to that since then is Wesson in this book using their ship, using the Thieves Guild ship for his experiments.
Experimentation, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I like that. But yeah, we haven't really seen much of the Thieves Guild or the Order since then. Um, so I think he means Cyanus. I think Cialis is something else.
Is that what he wrote?
Yes, yeah, I think
Uh,
autocorrect changed
yeah,
it.
I
But
can't really see the text.
who's that supposed to be?
Cyanus and Wesson.
Oh, okay.
And Cyanus is the power that he gets from his demon. Like he has his Nocent power, but that's not why he's so powerful.
Right.
He's powerful because of the Cyanus power, um, which is like what he gets from his demon. That basically superpowers all of his spells.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's an interesting thread to pull there. The dukes, like Fearden and some of the other dukes and nobility, he says it would be interesting if Rezkin healed Fearden. That'd be pretty cool. Frisha and Thressen and Tyrion, with a bit of Moldovan and Lycilia. I was just wondering that. I'm like, are we ever going to get more of Moldovan? Like, he came back and, like, he found his daughter and everything, and is that kind
Right.
of the end of what we get with him? But like Lucilia is Rezkin's mom.
That's right, and she wasn't in this at all.
Yeah, like how do we not get more with her? Um, and so that's kind of disappointing too. Um, but definitely like Frisha and Tyrion. We need more of them. I was so shocked that we didn't get an answer to how their relationship is doing during this book. Like we didn't check in with them at all cuz in the last book they were like
The
she
whole
came
Gollum thing, and
yeah, she came back and he's like, "Okay, like, we're still together, but just barely." Like,
it's gonna take me a little time, right? Because yeah,
yeah.
like the whole yeah.
So,
So yeah, we didn't get any more touch on that, which yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I just don't get it. Um, what's Cena as more of a dragon and less of a cat? I don't really care. Um,
I mean,
Caladon. Oh, go
we
ahead.
got we got more. We're getting her growing up now,
Mm-hmm.
which is nice. I
Yeah,
would say that less of a cat has already been achieved, in
yeah,
my
I would
in
say
my
so too.
opinion.
Yeah, I would agree. Um, Caladon. He's currently in What? Not Gendishin. Pharrell. He's in Pharrell, and he's the guy that Rezkin put in charge of Pharrell when Moldovan abdicated his throne. Excuse me. And so yeah, it'd be good to check in with him. We actually got a little bit of him in the last book because Malseus and Assaria started out in Pharrell, and then then he sent them to Lon Laresh. Um, and then Conovan. Where's Conovan at? He gets mentioned a couple times, but we don't really see him. And for anybody that oh yeah, Shad,
I don't remember half these
these
characters.
characters. I need a
Same,
refresher.
Shad. Yeah, same,
Yeah,
same.
yeah,
Well,
I
Shad,
agree.
luckily for you, I have a 2.5 hour recap that I
Oh,
just put out of books
damn.
1 through 6. So
Holy shit.
you're
Wow.
welcome to
I'm
go
gonna
look at
have
that.
to. I need
I
to
was gonna
watch
say,
that.
I should have
Yeah,
watched that.
it's like one of our highest viewed videos on the
I
channel
bet.
now.
I
Yeah,
bet.
yeah. I just put it out not even a couple weeks ago, and it's already just like blown up.
Yeah.
But Conovan is obviously the previous Rez that comes into play in book 4, and he
Right,
reveals all the stuff about like he. That's how we know Lucilia is Rezkin's mom and all that.
right.
Um, and then uh, and then for number 15, he says no more new side characters unless absolutely necessary. And I totally agree. I think the biggest complaint I have is that we're introducing too many new
That
characters.
just don't go anywhere. Like,
Yeah, don't go
really.
anywhere. Yeah. Um and so that's the biggest thing for me is I think we need to focus on the characters that we have already. Um and uh and yeah, so I thought this was a pretty good Reddit post that kind of mirrored my a lot of my same feelings. I didn't agree with everything in here, but I would say the vast majority I
Yeah,
I agreed with, I
yeah.
think. Okay. What did you guys think of Anda?
I was just thinking about her. So I mean, I remember her from the previous book,
Mhm.
but was she in Mage of No Renown?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she was. I think
I
that's where he
The,
met her.
yeah.
I thought so, but I was looking back at our notes from that,
Oh, really?
and
Well,
we
oh
we
yeah. She
we
might have
don't.
just been like a brief side
Yeah, I
character
mean, I think it
that
was.
like
I think they definitely had an interaction,
yeah. I don't
and then I think they bonded slightly when the whole college was attacked or something. Maybe I'm
yeah.
mistaking characters, but
Okay, yeah, man, definitely need
I
a refresher.
think
But I went back and looked at our notes from Mage of No Renown, and I was like, I don't remember Anda being that, but
yeah, I honestly don't think she would have even been worthy of like a note or
yeah,
anything.
okay,
I think she was just like one of the friends in the
that
friend
he
group.
that he
Yeah.
had. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I guess for me, I didn't enjoy her point of view
Oh,
too much.
yeah.
Um, I don't know. I found her just kind of annoying, and
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that she had she swore a mage oath to Kadia, and so she's inclined to do what serves his interest, but
yeah.
just like how she immediately is like goes back, she's like, "Oh man, it's a good idea to tell them literally
Right.
everything." And just
yeah.
Yeah.
I was
That
like, of
was really
course, like,
frustrating. It was really
Yeah.
frustrating
That was super
because
annoying.
yeah, and I don't know. She's just being stupid, in my opinion.
Yeah.
and yeah, it's like she is so surprised about demons and like their
Yeah.
existence. She's like, demons aren't real. It's like, didn't Weston just like tell you all about them like in the last?
Right.
And like you saw this battle with I don't know. So
Yeah,
I've maybe I'm missing something, but I felt like she should have understood that demons were like a real threat, and
Right.
she just seemed a little naive or like stupid, like
Yeah.
demons, what? And then like they
It's
make
kind
her
of
one.
just in her own bubble, and
She's kind of a weird character to pick for this like role in the story. Cuz she's kind of a nobody. She's kind of just like she's not very powerful, and I mean they mention that several times
Yeah,
in the
they do,
book,
right?
but it's just like what I mean, we could have used like I guess like this storyline would have been way more interesting if it had been like Nancy Threll or
That's what
something.
I'm wondering. I'm like, she was a big character in like some of the previous books that I liked. Threll, it
Yeah.
was Maid Threll. It's like, where's she? Just,
Where is Mage
and I'm like
Threll?
trying to remember who Anda is. I was like, yeah, I remember he was her friend from the last book, but like,
Yeah.
what was the significance? Like, that's why I was asking about Mage No Renown and all that stuff, because like, why do
Yeah.
we care? Why do we care about this Anda
yeah.
chick that much?
And that's the thing is we don't really, and that's the hard part about introducing all these new characters is the reason why in the Gentleman Bastards
Hmm.
or in the Dresden Files or something, when somebody dies or when something significant happens to them, we we care a lot because we've been with these characters since book 1 basically. But with this it's like Anda, like she may have been in Mage of No Renown, but really she was introduced in the previous book,
Right.
and then she gets demon possessed here,
Yep.
and I'm like, okay, it's just like a pawn on the chessboard that
Right.
is like, I don't care about her.
Yeah.
And so it makes it really hard to like have any sort of emotional reaction when she gets possessed, you
And,
know?
and then, and tell me if you disagree, but it was almost like there was like a symmetry with the other mage that Wesson breaks the mage oath with. It's like, oh, now there's this other
Mm-hmm.
mage you have a relationship with, and
Yeah,
you're sending her back to
yeah.
Cadian.
Like why
Yeah,
wasn't why didn't you do that? Yeah, that's so confusing.
yeah, that like boggled my mind, and I was like, wait, there's this other mage that okay, so this new
Why
character that you
why
just
why do we have
Yeah.
two of the same exact storyline going on?
yeah,
It
that's
confused me.
exactly
I'm still
yeah
confused about it.
Yeah,
yeah.
just some really weird writing decisions.
But and that chick is now presumably possessed by a demon because they sent her back to like the Mage Academy, right? And
Yeah,
everyone in that area is possessed now
right.
because of the ritual. And
Yeah.
it's like, do I care that much? Like, I guess
Are we talking about the chick that?
he met
Uh,
at the Mage Relay.
okay, yeah, and then asked her on a date.
And he asked
Yeah.
her on a date, took her back to his apartment, and then like did the ritual thing, and then she
Yeah.
found him because she's drawn to him because now they have her mage oath is to Wesson,
Right.
and then I think they're like, okay, go back to do your thing, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah. Basically, he's able to break the mage oath, but instead of it being an
He
oath to
replaced it.
Cadian, yeah, he made it to himself by accident. Um, and so now, instead of being like, "Oh, like you should come back to Kyle or whatever," he's like, "Okay, well now you're gonna go do what Anda's been trying to do." But you're right, like she's likely to get possessed.
yeah,
And even if she's not, it's too similar of a storyline to Anda's.
yeah,
It's like
exactly.
I don't know, like I hate to say this, but it almost feels like it was like written by ChatGPT or something.
Oh shit, dude!
like
Got
like
that.
that.
Shots fired, dude.
Oh,
like I just I'm just like, what is the point of having this second character that's basically the same exact thing as Anda?
yeah, that's what threw me. I was like, okay. And what bothers me, what annoys me, is that like when the next book comes out, she just could be completely omitted and not mentioned ever again.
Right.
And I probably wouldn't remember. I'd be like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't even notice, which is
Yeah.
like, it's annoying, Like,
Yeah. Oh God.
Who or if anybody, I'm having a hard time remembering, but who or how did Wesson get trapped towards the end of the book?
in the siphon thing
Yeah.
during the ritual,
Mm-hmm.
he
Did he do that to himself?
well, no, he infiltrated the temple.
Yeah.
Remember, he had that like stick that was gonna that got him
Yep.
into the temple, and he was just pretending to just be like a follower of Agrethiel, and then um, there was that. She's not an archmage, but there was that uh, other mage that was suspicious of him, and she ended up pushing him into the
Okay,
because
all right.
he
That's
was
what I was.
just flying by the seat of his pants, just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, like tell me what you're doing here because this,
Yeah, he was trying to all act like a big bad demon. Yep.
and then he overstepped, like
Yeah.
overplayed
Mhm.
his hands, and they got
Okay.
suspicious, and then they threw him in there, and
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
yeah.
That big battle at the end, first of all, I was like, why are we attacking Kadian? Like, are we ready to attack Kadian? I mean, it's like
It kind of felt like it last because it felt like Reskin in his head was like, if I don't do this right now, like this is
Yeah.
my only chance or whatever, and it still didn't work.
Could be. Yeah.
That was kind of my interpretation too. What Gabe said is kind of like they were like, I don't know how to stop this thing, so we
Yeah,
gotta just go
I have to
KD.
try.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Like he was like the
but then
thing,
he just
holding it together.
disappears.
Yeah, I don't know. It felt like it felt like going into the fight with Ganondorf too early, Like it felt
Right.
like Link running up to Ganondorf a little too early.
Kind of, yeah.
But I don't know. There wasn't really like a big climactic moment in this book. At least not that like not one that I could like readily put my finger on, because you would have thought like if somebody had told me 3 books ago, like, yeah, there's gonna be this siege on Kyle, like the Ashians are gonna like put Kyle under siege and they're gonna have to fight him off. I'm like, oh man, that would be like a
That
whole
sounds sick.
book. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's like a whole book, and it was like a chapter.
Yeah. And like Siege is like
Yeah,
they're like, oh yeah, I mean we have plenty of food and like
yeah,
they can't even get into the island or on it. They're just
right.
it's like more like a blockade. Like
Yeah, they're just
Right,
posted
yeah.
up out there.
yeah. But they're like, oh yeah, we're growing our own stuff and
Yeah,
we're good. And
Totally
it's like, yeah,
self-sufficient. They can't get here,
Yeah.
so we really don't need to worry about it.
right. Yeah, I was kind of just like a little baffled by that. I'm like, man, I expected a lot more out of this siege. And I'm just curious. I'm like, why are we going through all of these ideas so fast? Like, why? Like, it felt like this book was like, let's just throw shit at the wall and kind of get through all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
man.
like we
that was
had,
like that was like the theme. Is like
yeah,
just a bunch of events happening in like a singular chapter, and then it's like next chapter, next event, like
right.
boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom.
Yeah, it was super weird. It's like, oh, dwarves are a thing, and then that's like a chapter or two, and then like I don't know, there's like this Vimaral spring that we need, and that's like a chapter or two,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
like, oh, there's a siege, and that's like a chapter or two, or like we got to go get Tam. That was probably the longest stretch of anything, is going to get Tam, rescue, like kind of making a deal with the Fae, and then
Right.
coming back with him and all that. That was probably the biggest stretch of any one singular thing happening.
Yeah.
And then like Wesson's chapters. And it was just like all these other like random events. I'm just like, what is going on here? And like technically you could say the same thing of book 4, but book 4 was also like a 30-hour audiobook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
14 or something, right? Like
Yeah.
half of it, right?
Yeah. And
This
at
is-
this At the
Yeah.
speed Gabe and I listened to, it was like a 7 or 8
Yeah,
hour audiobook.
Yeah, it was 8 hours.
Yeah.
I listened to this one on 1.2 speed
Oh wow.
Nice.
because
Nice.
otherwise I was like, there's no way I'm gonna finish if I don't do this. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that you
Yeah.
you upped your speed a bit.
Yeah.
So anyway, the whole reason I was talking about that fight at the end is because one of the biggest problems I had near the end of the book is one of the Brants getting poisoned or getting possessed. Um, and it's like all of a sudden there's that moment where Wesson's like, oh, and out of the portal step both the Brants. And it's like, oh, yes, we're getting Brant Blue and we're getting Brant Red. Like, we're finally going to see them fight. Like, they're going to be this insanely fearsome duo because they're the exact same person. It's going to be so cool. And they've been training together
nonstop.
Yeah. And then they go into this fight and they're separated. They're not together. So their unique specialty is is gone.
Yeah.
That was infuriating.
That was infuriating.
It's like because I think it was like Reskin's POV. He was like yeah, together. He's like yeah, the Brants have been training. All they've been doing is training. And in his head, he's like thinking about how he's like once they come together, he's like they're a true force to be reckoned with. He's like all right, anyway, red, blue, go that way. Red, red, go that way.
I was like, what the fuck, dude? And like that is something I would love to ask Kelcade about because like it's like why did you separate these characters? I just don't get it. And then Brant Blue gets possessed.
Yeah, it's like, oh well.
It's like, so we're never gonna see them together. Like
Brant Red's gonna be pissed. It's like, okay. Yeah. I am too, but yeah.
Yeah, I am too.
And that's like kind of the problem too, is that the two Brants were introduced like 2 books ago, like back in book 5.
Yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure
nothing
like,
in book 6.
Nothing was done with them in book 6.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like that expectation you had after book 5 has now died.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing about them in book 6. And then you get to book 7 and you're just like, here they are, there they go, like
right,
possessed. And it's like I found myself just like not caring. Like,
yeah,
if you'd have introduced them in book 5 and then at the end of book 5 like one of them gets possessed, you would have been like, oh fuck, like what's gonna happen, because I want to see them what happened. But at this point it's just like, okay, like they weren't a major character anyway in book 6, and you just brought them back at the very end of book 7, so that's 2 whole books where they were not developed as like characters.
Right.
I feel really bad saying
missed
all this,
opportunity.
like,
no, it's so disappointing. It is so disappointing. It's honestly like it's probably the most baffling part of the book for me. There's a lot of the book that I could have forgiven and been like, okay, well we'll see what happens in the next one. But that is like a pure undiluted example of some of the problems this series is facing right now, I think.
Yeah.
And it's really a bummer because I just got this series tattooed on my arm. So
oh shit!
It would be a big bummer if it did not stick the landing.
It's gonna be like, it's gonna age so poorly.
I know.
Hopefully not.
So yeah, Brant's fate. I didn't really write down any quotes from this book. There was no moments where I'm like, oh, that was a great line or whatever. And I was just like, I was literally like, I wrote down this quote for book 6. The one where Malseus is in Lon the Resh in the last book, and he's in the cage, and he has to give a speech about Rezkin and the Empire.
Oh, yeah.
And it says like Malseus's tears welled in his eyes and dried on his face as
Oh
his
yeah,
resentment slipped away.
I remember that.
And that is just like it might be like one of my favorite quotes of the entire series. I was literally just thinking about that scene the other day and I started to tear up because I think it's so just like perfectly written. And there was nothing like that in this book. There was nothing that I really wanted to write down that I was like, ooh, that was good.
Yeah,
Um, and so that was kind of a bummer. Um, but yeah, I mean, what let's talk about Reskin and Azaria. What do you guys think about this whole storyline? Because that and Wesson's storyline took up the bulk
Yeah, it's like
of the
80,
book.
85% of the book.
yeah,
Yeah,
I I liked Reskin and Azaria kind of. I don't know. I think there's something to be said about Reskin kind of starting to feel emotions for the first time in his life,
yeah, for sure.
and so it's just kind of fascinating to see him start to you know fall in
Hmm.
love and fall in lust and
Yeah.
all those things. So I don't know. I was smiling when they were together and
Yeah.
kind of working together and stuff. So I liked it.
Yeah, there was moments where I'm like, oh wow, Reskin is like really learning like what it means to have emotions. And the interesting thing about Reskin that I think works really well as a character development idea is the question has been, from book one onwards, like Reskin doesn't really have emotions. But if his character arc in the story is to eventually get him to a point where he does have emotions, how does that happen?
Yeah.
And I think the really interesting, wrench to throw in the gears is like Reskin, he like if there is power out there that he can grab and use, if there is a tool at his disposal that he has the ability to use, he won't just not use it.
yeah,
And so to introduce a system where it's like, yeah, dude, look at all this power that you could have. You could cast any spell that the human mages can cast and it'll be better than theirs, but you have to use your emotions to cast it. I think that's a really interesting way to make Reskin get up off his ass and be like, okay, like maybe I need to get in touch with my emotions a little bit more.
yeah,
I think that's a really cool idea. Um, and so him in this book, this was really like a little bit in the last book, but this was really the book where we start to see him like really get in touch with his emotions. And there's even that moment, I think it may be my favorite scene in this whole book, where Reskin is like on the dais and then Thressen comes in, and it said that Reskin had the biggest, most genuine smile on his face
yeah,
going down to meet Thressen. And I think it's even mentioned like maybe it's, Reskin's kind of like maybe it's just me getting in touch with my emotions so much lately, but
yeah,
had this big smile on his face going to see Thressen. Um, and so you see these things start to pay off. And I did like that. I did like those moments where he expressed some kind of emotion, or even when he asks Azaria, he's like, do you love me? And even while he's asking that, he's figuring out in his head, he's like, wait, do I love her?
yeah, yeah.
I thought that was a good scene. I liked that. Yeah. Any other thoughts on Reskin and Azaria?
Well, I mean, I mostly agree with what you guys said. I think it's it seemed like a natural progression to me of
Yeah.
like where where Reskin has come from. Like,
Yep.
from the very beginning of the books where he has no emotions and he's so doesn't even understand the concept of friends
Mm-hmm.
to like being here where he is contemplating being in love and like understands that he wants to like be with Azeria and like only her and like protect her, and then like he starts feeling more complex emotions like jealousy. Like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
there's a line where he's like thinking about Azaria with another man. He's like, I don't like that. Like he's like, I don't like that feeling. And then the next line is like, Reskin decided he would have to kill the man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah,
I
accurate.
love.
Like,
Yeah.
That tracks. That tracks.
Yeah.
uh,
I loved
so
that line.
yeah. So there was good stuff like that
Yeah.
just seemed like a natural progression, and yeah, I didn't mind the Azaria and um Reskin's line. I know he said that
Yeah.
like they're both super powerful and whatnot. They're a power couple, so it's like it
Yeah.
works on some level. I
Yeah.
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. I think so too.
I also I like the idea of the soul bond that
Yeah.
they did. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, he's basically married. He's like bonded.
He's
Yeah.
married for sure, but
Yeah,
but
for sure.
they
For sure.
but there's more. There's a lot more than just that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The bond is like kind of a magic thing.
Yeah.
Um, now they can feel each other at all times and what their emotions are. If one dies, the other one's gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
They're super linked now.
Yeah.
yeah, and I had a hard time deciding if that was like a step too far for like
Sure.
Reskin as a character, because it was
Mm-hmm.
like,
It's definitely the most like ridiculous thing he's ever done in the sense of
Yeah.
him being so like
Vulnerable.
yeah,
right. It's
yeah,
just like he has introduced a major vulnerability
yeah.
Yeah.
into like, which just
Like probably
seems,
one of the biggest
Mm-hmm.
vulnerabilities
yeah,
out
it's
there.
like if someone's like, oh, we can't kill Reskin because he's too powerful. It's like, well, let's just fucking go after.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can kill
Yeah.
this area. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That was a hard thing for me to, because
Hard
like
pill to swallow.
yeah, like he pushed it off at first, right? There was like
Yeah.
she tried to bond with him once
Mm-hmm.
before, and he was like, no. But then at a
Yeah.
certain point, he's like, just kidding, I do want this.
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
Yeah. That was tough. I'm not really sure what the game plan is with that. I mean, Azaria is a very accomplished warrior in her own right, and we haven't seen really any instances of her getting in over her head, or like where he has to like save her, or where she's like had a brush with death. So maybe it's not. I don't think Reskin is as worried about her being killed and then him dying. I think he's more worried about himself dying, and then that
yeah,
also kills
yep,
Azaria. But
yeah.
I think we're all correct. Like that, like Azaria would be a significant weakness if somebody
Well,
wanted to get to him.
like just for example, like Entrance could offer if he wanted to,
Right? Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
like it's like, okay, Entrance probably wouldn't do that, but it's like if he becomes convinced that Reskin is going mad and he
Yeah.
can't get to Reskin, then
Yeah.
he'll off his area.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It could definitely go that way. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it yet. I think there's some things about Reskin and Azaria that I really like. But I think it's all kind of dragged down by just the fact of like what the Eildenon are,
Yeah.
like how they're so like direct and like straightforward and no emotion, at least on their face, like the way they express themselves. There's not a whole lot of emotion, and so it it doesn't exactly make it a romance that like stirs anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like even Frisha and Tyrion, the thing the thing that made Frisha and Tyrion romantic is that you have this spoiled noble brat who
Right.
is just like the shittiest person ever. And over the next 4 books, he grows into like this amazing and respectable man who honors his friends and has taken responsibility upon himself. And he may complain or whatever, but ultimately he does the right thing, and he has grown into this amazing character. And then you have Frisha, who is a open heart romantic
Right.
and was fawning after Reskin, and she made the choice when she realized that Reskin couldn't love her. She had to back away because she's like, I know that's what I need. I need somebody who
Yeah.
who can love me.
Yeah.
And then somehow in the middle of all of this mess, her and Tyrion coming together and realizing that they love each other. It was a great like romantic story. And there's lots of like really heightened emotion that goes along with all of that.
Yeah.
And with Azaria, there's a thing in writing for books and TV shows and movies where people say show don't tell.
Right.
And with the Ielvenon, we are told that they feel emotion. We are told that they feel emotion greatly, but we are
Right.
not shown that by nature of who they are.
Yeah.
And so it makes it difficult from a viewer or a reader perspective to see that emotion. Like we are like we're only looking through a window at these things, and we can be told that on the inside they're feeling great emotion, but just by nature of what the Ielvenon are, we don't really see it that much.
Yeah.
And so that makes it difficult for me to be like, oh, this romance plot line stirs something. It it's difficult. It's not
Yeah.
impossible, but it's a tall order.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, there's a couple little lore things real quick. We do get the secret to the Black Blade.
That was cool.
Yeah,
It's
that
made
was
of
cool.
Yeah, it's made of Elsium, which is a mage material that expresses different abilities for each wielder. And then he names the sword Alestra, and in Adianic it means lightning strike.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool, especially because I think the last time we had talked with Kelcade, I was like, she was like, nope. She's like, it was a once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah, she
It'll
did
never
say
be
that.
replicated. And it seems like maybe she changed her mind on that. So
What's the other? Didn't we get another kind of special mage material in this book?
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
Starts with a
yeah,
V. Verminium, or that's what the
Viridium,
Viridium.
Verminium,
Yeah.
or
Yeah. That's
yeah,
what the dwarves were forging.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Reskin's wearing some sick armor of it.
Yep.
And
yeah. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I liked that, and especially because it was foreshadowed in the previous book in Lon the Resh when they were doing the trials,
that's right.
and they were doing all like the trade deals and everything. Issyria was like, why do they want this viridium or whatever? Like they
Yeah.
don't, like it's a useless metal.
Right.
It doesn't do anything. And
Yeah.
then to like kind of get the reveal in this book, well, like yeah, it is a useless metal unless
Yeah.
you have like this special person who makes it. Um, then they can make it so that it absorbs magic.
That's what it does, right? It just absorbs like Vinmara and or the demon magic, whatever
Yeah,
that's called.
yeah, it
But then
absorbs
can
it and
and
adds it to your
okay, yeah,
well. It's like
makes
life.
him stronger. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like life steal, but
Yeah.
for magic.
Yeah. Magic steel.
Yeah.
Mm.
Ashai is kind of in an interesting state. We've visited it a couple times in the previous books, But in this book, we were specifically in Kaibane, which is a very big city.
Right.
Um, and in this book, we see that it's been overtaken by like bandits and homeless and prostitutes and vagabonds of every
Yeah.
kind. And then there's these people standing on street corners, kind of preaching the word of Egrethiel.
Yeah.
Um, and they're like asking people to like come join us, join us.
It's crazy how brainwashed everybody is.
Yeah, and how fast it went downhill. I
Yeah,
mean the series. I mean probably. I mean the series up to this point. I think it's only been a couple years since
yeah.
the beginning of the series, like in world time,
Hmm.
and so it's crazy how fast it went downhill.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole country's going to continue to go downhill with KD and not actually being like a king, right? And just
Yeah,
Right.
and
he
Yeah.
says
especially
there's
now, now that everybody's a demon pretty
the
much.
capital city's a demon. It's just going to be complete chaos, and then
Yeah,
Yeah.
those other countries are going to invade from.
Well, the funny thing is everybody assumed that Cadian was a mad king, and when we learned about the Spiritua and all that, I think I assumed that it was the madness from being part Ielvenon
Hmm.
that was affecting him. Um, but really, he's got this demon that at this point has kind of taken full control. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
it's not really Cadian in there
yeah.
as much. Um, and so the it's like what part does the madness really play at this point? Because he does have the madness from being a human spiritua,
Right.
but he's also like demon infested. So like, which is worse, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that also makes you wonder about Reskin. Like, is that going to play a
Well,
part?
I thought that his madness is staved off
I mean,
from
that's what they
by
said.
Cena.
Yeah. And by the shapeshifter lady and with Azeria. But like,
yeah,
is
I
that
thought they like
was that like a theory or is that like for sure?
no,
I
no, no, no.
I
I mean, I think
it's
that is
it's
good.
a so it is
I
a
mean, is it one of his theories, not our theories? Is it one of Reskin's theories that's the
right. Yeah, it is one of Reskin's theories.
The
So
Ielvenon
it's
didn't say that in at all. They never. I thought one of the Ielvenon in whatever their place is called explained to Reskin that he's not crazy because um, of his bond with Cena's. I thought what they said.
yeah. So they specifically mentioned Cena,
Yeah,
and that when she was a baby dragon in the egg, she was pulling Vamara off of him, and so she was like she was feeding off of his
yeah,
Vamara, and then from that Reskin has assumed that since he still has a bond with that dragon, and since he also has this bond with Tisei, that that also pulls his
hmm,
Vamara. And then Azaria kind of theorized in this book
mm,
that their bond will continue to do that, but at an exponential level, and that he should be able to just use magic freely.
yeah. And
and
they
Um,
also said, I
that'll
think
keep the madness in check. Okay.
with Cena growing too so rapidly that because she's still taking power from him.
Well, I think after the Vimaral Spring, she's not.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, because she went into the Vimaral Spring, and that got her all of the Vamara that she's
that she
been
needs.
needing
Yeah,
to grow like normal.
gotcha.
And so now, I mean, he does have a bond with her, but she's not really,
Feet.
as far as I understand it, she's not pulling from his Vamara anymore.
Hmm.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is Azaria saying, like, now you and I share Vimara, so I think that you can use your magic freely now. And he even asks her in the book, he's like, are you sure, or is this just something you think? What if your theory is wrong? And she's like, well, then you go mad.
Yeah.
Um, and so I'm really curious what direction Kelcade is going to go with this, and I kind of hope that it's not like, oh well, since they're bonded now, the madness just goes away and he can use his magic. My theory for the end of the series used to be that Rezkin eventually goes mad and that Wesson has to kill him. And that's where I thought the series was going, is that Rezkin would like save them from Cadian, but upon doing so, he would use too much Vimara and he would go mad, and Wesson would have to end him. Um, and that could still happen technically, but it doesn't seem likely now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like he has quite a few fail-safes that might be helping him.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't really know. I don't really know if I want this series to have like just a happy ending where Rezkin and Azaria just kind of walk into the sunset.
Yeah.
Or if I had preferred that like Rezkin goes mad and somebody like, I think that would have been more powerful. And it could go either way. I have no idea, but it doesn't seem like it's going that way anymore.
I was going through the notes here, and the only note I see that you've written, what an amazing scene, is when Farson swears fealty to Rezkin.
Yes, dude.
So why don't you talk about that?
Dude, what a great scene that was. We get everything in Kyle where Rezkin is like revealing himself, and I loved the scene with Thressen, and the crowd is so loud that Rezkin and Thressen have to shout over it to hear each other. And that's just such an amazing scene, and Rezkin tells him, he's like, to be perfectly honest, like I'm not an invincible deity, I'm just a man. And Thressen is like one who has survived death many times, from what I understand. And just like them meeting was fantastic. So we go from that scene to Rezkin, teleporting over to where Wesson and Farson are. And the moment that Farson sees him, and he's just like, oh my god, it's you, like I thought you were dead. And like, this reunion is so good. And then Farson just like gets down on his knees, and like, you would have never thought that Farson would swear fealty to Rezkin. Like, so far he's been like there for the ride and just to like see what's happening. But at the end of book 5, when Rezkin dies, we get like, my boy.
Yeah.
Like the mourning of Rezkin, which was also a great scene.
Yeah.
And then Farson in this book, he has that moment where he's having like a real discussion with Rezkin. Like, for the first time, like, both of them kind of let down all their barriers. And Rezkin is like, I'm not trying to like pull one over on you. Like, I'm trying to do what is best for the people of Ashai and like the people that I love and care about. And Farson's like, he's like, you could have done anything after you left the fortress. He's like, you could have like gone and just killed Cadian right then and there, and you could have claimed the crown, and we all would have had to bow to you, and you could have done whatever you wanted. Or you could have like gone off and done nothing, or you could have gone and like served the king. You could have served Cadian, and like there's no way that any of us would have survived any of this if you had done that. Um, and so he's having this moment where he realizes like just this first like real moment where he realizes that Rezkin had so many options. He could have done so many things. Why would he choose to make friends and then foster those friendships, turn those friendships into a kingdom, protect those friends, go after Tam when he was enslaved, all this stuff? And why would he choose to do all of that and then continue to go on, like die, fight this war from the shadows, and while he's dead, he's not like off serving his own desires. He's still fighting in the shadows. He's still fighting against KDN. He's still doing what the Empire needs him to do, even though they think he's dead. He had so many other options, and Farson like realizes this all in 1 minute, and he like gets down on his knees and swears fealty. It was it was so good. It was just such a good moment for Farson. It was such a great character arc for him and Rezkin. Like it was a great character arc for both of them. And yeah, I think it was that and the throne room scene were probably my favorite parts of the book. That was incredible. That was really good.
Those were two big highlights for sure.
Yeah. And Rezkin doesn't know how to respond, and he's like, what the fuck is even happening now? Farson is swearing fealty. So it was just fantastic scene. I loved it. I loved it. It was one of the standouts from this book.
Yeah.
What do you guys have any thoughts on Farson in this book? I think he had a lot of good screen time.
Yeah, I mean, I've always enjoyed Farson as a character, and it's nice to have continuity between book one and this one finally.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah, it's just nice. Yeah, it's nice to have characters that continue to be on paper, you know?
Yeah. Continue to be here.
Yeah.
I also liked how he had a lot of interaction with Wesson in this book. They were kind of like an unlikely duo. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good duo though. Like
there
was a point where Weston says he was glad Farson wasn't here when he was talking to the battle mage.
Yeah,
because he's like Farson's always so
stuffy
intense.
And looking over my shoulder.
Yeah.
Yep. There was kind of a cool like little foreshadowing. Well, I mean, it wasn't even really foreshadowing. I mean, I guess it kind of was, but Wesson needs healing from Rezkin at one point. It's after they take Tam to go fight the demon, and Rezkin's like, "Oh yeah, I can do that," and Wesson is surprised.
He's like, "Yeah, you couldn't last time, or you?
Yeah.
Why can you now?"
Yeah, and he's like, I can't heal everyone, but I believe it will work with you. And Wesson says, like, why do you think it would work with me? And Rezkin simply says, because you are my friend.
Yeah.
And I think this is really interesting because in the first like 2 or 3 books, there was a special emphasis put on the word friend. It was like capital F friend. And when somebody would be named a friend, it was a very big deal.
Yeah.
And even though Rezkin didn't realize it at the time, on some level, it was a clue that Rezkin felt something for this person.
Yeah.
Even if he didn't recognize it as an emotion, there was an emotional tie that he had to this person. And those were some of the best scenes in the entire series. And so for Rezkin now, for him to heal someone, because we've seen before, there's some people he can't heal.
Right.
Like if he doesn't feel an emotion towards them, then he like literally cannot heal them
Yeah.
even if he wants to. And so it's interesting now for the capital F friend to come back into play and to have like a magical significance. Like Rezkin can heal you, but you'd have to be someone that he had previously named friend because he has that emotional tie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. Maybe I'm talking out my ass, but I thought that was a really cool way to tie that all together, where it's like, oh, this like friend thing where he only names a few people friend,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like that has some like significance now. It like in the magic system, it has significance, and so I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
There's there's a lot more that we could talk with about, like with the whole demon lore.
Mhm.
And like Kadian kind of spun the story in a different way to Anda that made it look like the demons were the victims.
Yeah.
Which is not, I mean, like,
I
duh. Of course he's going to do that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean I thought it was interesting to like get the story from a different point of
Yeah.
view. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because like they say there's sayings like the victors are the ones that write the history books and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so
I mean, it's just all part of his brainwashing, like
yeah,
he's I mean, he has to do that.
right.
It didn't make me a demon sympathizer though. Like,
No,
No.
like
no,
it did.
for
Like
sure.
it did. And she's like, oh
Definitely
wow, I
not.
get. Like wow,
I
you guys
get
are
it
the
now.
good guys.
Yeah.
I was
Right,
like,
yeah.
really? Okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah. It didn't make me like a sympathizer at all, but I just thought it was cool, like world building to like
Yeah.
to see what their view of it is. I think
It was,
that's pretty
yeah.
pretty neat.
Yeah. Well, I guess along the lines of demons, that
Uh-huh.
the epilogue was kind of interesting with Wesson when he goes to his mansion that he gets
Oh
as
yeah.
as a reward.
Yeah. And
And
it's all
meets
like
Katie in
there's just
there
like
and-
dead bodies and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was Tyrion's family, right?
Oh.
Because they said they're like, oh yeah, these were like the rest of the Wellenvin.
Yeah.
Oh,
they
Tyrion
did.
Tyrion is
Oh, he's
Nereus.
Nearest. Oh,
Yeah.
Nereus. But isn't his
Welling-
like
Wellington is a close relative though.
of him? I thought so, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who Wellington is,
They
but
just always
Tyrion.
said Duke Wellington.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
one of the dukes in.
yeah.
Book
Tyrion is
82.
close with them.
Yeah, so I was kind of like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
But that's
The
beside the point.
Nereus, Tyrion's dad is at the northern fortress
Oh, okay, that's right.
with
That's right.
with General Markham.
Yep. Okay. They're just chilling out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Um.
Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Well, I was just gonna say the fact that Wesson is Azaz, I guess, this
Yeah,
powerful demon lord.
right.
Pronounced it so interesting in the book.
Yeah, as.
As.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah,
I don't want to say that.
I know. It's like a weird. I don't know if that's pronounced necessarily correctly.
Yeah.
But I guess it made me curious about like what the role that's gonna play because
Yeah.
I mean we haven't like Wesson's not possessed, he's bonded to a
Right.
demon, I guess. But
Right.
like what's really the difference? Like,
Yeah, I mean there was that moment when Wesson was like walking into the chapel or whatever, and there was like a single moment where Wesson says something to one of the other demons, and in his own like POV,
Mhm.
he's like wait a minute, that was not me. Like
Right.
I didn't mean to say that.
Yeah.
And so it makes me wonder if the demon is going to start coming out more and more, or if it'll be like sympathetic.
That's what I'm wondering.
Because it sounds like his demon does not like Igrathiel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so his demon might be more inclined to help them.
Yeah.
And someone also said he was trying to get more information on what his demon is like.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody said your demon is more like reserved. Like usually you don't like get involved that much. You're
Yeah.
kind of like, you're kind of studious and you don't really like, you kind of keep your head down.
Okay.
And so I'm like, okay, so he doesn't like, he does have a Prince of Hikajnak in him, but it's not, he's not like a power hungry demon, it sounds like, I think. From
Yeah.
what I gathered. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that tracks.
Yeah.
Because it was that demon lady, whatever her name was.
Mia.
That's. I
Yeah,
mean, that's
yeah.
that's how he got caught,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
he was assuming that his demon would be like all the rest of them, but she's like, nah, something's not right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Your very last bullet point, Rezka just reveals himself to Kadean. That kind of bothered me too, because like in the prologue when he and Azaria attack Kadean thinks it's someone
Yeah.
impersonating Reskin,
Right.
and then he's just like, "You again." It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, like I understand trying to disrupt the ritual, but why just like show up on the dais and be like, yeah, just
Yeah,
like
right.
attack him.
I'm back.
I'm back, bitch. And also there was a whole thing where Rezkin had been saying for the previous book, he was like, no, he's like, before I reveal myself, there are things that I have to put into motion.
Yeah.
And then in this book, he reveals himself to Kyle, and he's like, yeah, I had to do a bunch of stuff, but now all that stuff is done, so now I can reveal myself. What stuff did he have to do? Like, what did he have to do behind the scenes before he revealed himself? Like, I can't think of anything that happened in this book or the previous book where it's like, oh yeah, he had to do that like behind the scenes.
That's a good point.
I thought there was some. He like explained to one of his friends why. Like, I don't know, I can't remember who it was, and I can't remember even what they said. But
Well,
He
he
did
had
some-
said like I need Kadian to not know I'm alive because it'll be easier to like kill him
Yeah.
if he thinks that I'm dead. And he says the same thing about his people and Kyle. He's like, they need to think I'm dead so that nobody gets word to Kadian.
yeah,
Right.
And then he like, but I don't know what that thing was. Like he said that he needed to accomplish something
Yeah.
before he could reveal himself, and I just don't know. That might be a question for Kelcade. Like I don't know what that thing is. So I don't know. I don't know if you guys like remembered or like what that would have
Yeah.
been. But
I don't.
okay. Wesson having to dress as a girl.
That was funny.
That was funny. It's
Always
like
asked it.
it feels like an ongoing thing now.
Yeah,
Where like in Mage No Renown, he like he had like grabbed the wrong clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like, wait, that's a woman's dress. That's not like
Yeah.
a robe. And then he kept getting confused for a woman in book 4 where they like, he was visiting Lon the Resh.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, that's a boy. I thought that was a young girl.
Right. I mean, they've always said he's got pretty curls, right? Like,
Yeah,
so
pretty
like...
curls and stuff. And then I swear there was something in like book 5 or 6 that was also along these lines. And then in this one he actually has to dress as a woman. I was like, dude, he cannot catch a break. I swear to God, the poor guy.
Yeah.
The poor guy. But also I was surprised that we didn't get any Celeste
He talked about her a little bit, but
Yeah,
yeah.
he did, but it's like I kind of wanted a scene where I mean he talks about it a little bit where he's like, "Oh, now we have like these really interesting conversations and stuff."
Hmm.
But again, I feel like a lot of this book is like it's telling me things, but it's not
Exactly. It
showing me
is. Yeah,
things.
it was. Yeah, that's yeah. A lot of just telling.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
it's like
we have a good
I'm not.
relationship and we talk about things for hours. It's like, okay.
Well,
Yeah.
how about a scene with that? Like, how
Yeah.
about a scene
Yeah.
where we see them having like a great, like a good dialogue, like
Yeah.
Kelkade is known for writing. Like,
Right. Right. Yeah. Uh,
um,
there was also, I don't know if this was just my impression, but I felt like the sexual dialogue was turned up a notch on this in this
oh
book a little
yeah, for
bit. Like
sure.
I was
Yeah,
just like some
it
of it
was
made me
hot and
roll my eye.
heavy.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah,
like, oh my god, because like when Wes is talking about Celeste, he's just like, we have great conversations and like sharing a bed is nice too. I was like, oh my
yeah,
god, like,
yeah. What did you guys think of the Rezkin Azaria
sex
sex
scene.
scene? It
Oh
wasn't
man,
like it wasn't like super detailed. I like where Empire of the Vampire is like I thrust my cock into her
oh
pussy
my
like
god, dude, oh my god.
but it was like
Yeah, I do not want that from this series, man. Like
yeah for
that's
sure.
Yeah.
I'm like I don't need that, and that's kind of what I was thinking earlier is like I'm like the whole Rezkin Azaria thing. I'm like, I'm not really sure that I need Rezkin to have a romance at all. Like I like from the beginning, I'm like Rezkin just like isn't he's not like a romantic figure,
right.
you know? And so the whole thing with Azaria, like I get it, it's a character arc, but at the same time,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if I needed Rezkin. It like if he was gonna have a love interest, I think it would have been better with Frisha. As much as I like Frisha and Tyrion, I think if Rezkin was gonna have a love interest, it would have been better with Frisha because she's like very human. She's very like
Yeah.
emotional and he cares about Frisha. Like you can see that he does care about Frisha,
Yep.
and like I feel like she could have been another route to him tapping into his emotions.
Yeah.
Um, whereas Azaria, I'm just like I don't know. I don't know. Like if it's not Frisha, like Rezkin even says it in book 4. He's like, if I wasn't gonna be married to you, then I probably wouldn't be married to anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel the same way. I'm like, if not Frisha,
Nobody.
like, yeah, I don't really
Yeah.
see anybody else for him. And so that's like, I'm kind of on the fence with Azaria
Yeah.
being a love interest.
Too late.
Too late.
They're
Yeah.
bonded, man.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, they're
bonded
bonded
now.
for life. So
Yeah.
we're
This,
screwed
and they
in
said
that
like
aspect.
even the normal Ielvanon don't do that
Don't
these
do
days.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, why the fuck was she asking for that from him
Yeah.
when it's not when she said that I assumed that it was
That's
a normal
thing. Yeah.
yeah. And then
Part
for
of their
the other guy,
culture.
like they bond, and then the other guy's like, "You guys did what? We don't do that anymore."
Like, that's
We haven't
fucking
seen that
weird,
in a
man.
1,000 years.
Yeah, they talked about having like multiple mates, didn't they?
Multiple
Like,
mates.
yeah, like we live like for a very long time, so
Yeah.
after 200 years, you get tired of the same person and you just go
Right.
someone else.
Yeah.
And it's like, but
Rezkin's like,
I'm glad you guys
"Fuck."
bonded. That's cool. Like,
Yeah. Oh, that was so good. Rezkin's
Yeah.
just like, fuck, what did I do?
yeah. I mean, it's kind of a little bit bizarre. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. There's so many things in this book where I'm like, I just like there seems to be like no beginning or end to some of these plot points. And that's why I said the thing about ChatGPT earlier is like I'm like I feel like some of these were just kind of like thrown the fuck in here.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. We real quick before we wrap up, I want to say what we got a great scene with Wesson and Cena.
Hmm.
He can like talk to Cena in their
That
mind
was
because
cool.
of
Yeah,
the
that was cool.
yeah, because she's like from a lineage of the Daemon, and
Yep.
he's got like a Daemon in him. Um, I thought that was pretty good. He was like, yeah, Cena like came up to me and started like nuzzling me, and that's like never happened before. And so then he just gets to know Cena. I thought that was kind of
Yeah.
cool.
And actually, that I was laughing during that entire scene because I was picturing everyone like standing around Wesson, and he's just like, just like,
Yeah.
because like there were other like stuff was going on
Yeah,
around
there
him, and
was
he's having
stuff
like this
happening.
prolonged conversation in his mind, just like,
Yeah.
they're just like, Wesson, like,
What are you
hello?
doing? Are
Yeah.
you okay?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. And then
I also like. I also like
oh,
Cena
good.
calling Reskin father. She's like,
Oh,
father.
father!
Yeah.
Yeah. That was so good. She like
Just like destroying the yard.
and
Yeah.
she like doesn't like fully understand the phrase, and she just like scream father.
Yeah.
So good.
She was
So
funny.
good.
Yeah. She's
Yeah. Yeah.
like a big puppy dog, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like,
Yeah. I've grown to like Cena. Um and then I'll end on this unless anybody else has anything. We get Tam leading the Fae,
mm-hmm.
and Rezkin tells him that he needs to grab on to the part of him that like this the weird magic thing he
Yeah.
feels inside him, and Tam does it, and smoke rises off of his skin.
That was weird.
Which
Yeah.
what does
Steam.
that mean? Yeah,
But yeah.
and then he's able to be like, he speaks in like a different voice, and he's like, Fey beings, stop what you're doing, and they like stop the maelstrom and everything. Um, and I'm really curious what's gonna happen with Tam.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah,
He's gonna turn Faye all the way.
As I say, I can't see it like ending.
good.
Yeah. I have a bad feeling about this.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'm just like,
I mean, the dude's got a hole in his head. He's entwined with the
Yeah.
Fae, and it's just
He's
like,
been through so much, dude.
Yeah,
He's been
yeah.
through so
She's
much.
gotten the shit beat out of him
Yeah.
more than any other character in the entire series.
Yeah. He's been neglected by the narrative.
Neglected, abused,
Just ship
stomped
him.
on.
Yeah, ship him and Illanet, man. Come on, just make it
Yeah.
happen. Tam lives happily ever after with Illanet.
For
Yeah.
real.
Send him on his
Yeah,
way.
if
He's
anybody
done
deserves
enough.
a happy ever after, it's Tam.
Yeah. And like, I don't know. I'm hoping that he remains like mostly human. Like even Rezkin later on is like, I think you're probably like mostly human still, but
Maybe, probably.
Oh, poor Tam.
I know.
Poor guy. But yeah, does anybody? Because I just listened to the epilogue today. Does anybody remember like what the last few lines kind of allude to, like kind of
Yeah,
how it sends us off?
Wesson is kind of like, he's like maybe the Mia basically after his interaction with KD, and she's like, wow, that was not how Az would have handled that. So like you're gonna have to. She's like, you're gonna have all the lesser demon coming for you,
Yeah,
and she's like, it's gonna take a lot for you to like maintain
yeah,
your reputation after that
right.
interaction.
Yeah.
And Wesson is kind of thinking, he's like, maybe his
best
safest
option is to stay near KDN.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez. What's gonna happen with Wesson, dude? That is crazy.
That's like the biggest thing that has me going.
Yeah.
Is just wondering, like, I'm curious how that that apparently powerful but reserved demon that's bonded to him is gonna play in.
Yeah.
Because so far it doesn't seem like it's caused him like that much trouble, right? Like it's not
right. Yeah. Yeah. So
But
going into final thoughts, then I think my interests from here kind of lie in. I don't think I really have any interest in the dwarves. I know that that was supposed to be like a big part of the book, and when the cover art got released, I saw the like mechanical, like it's
yeah,
like Reskin facing off against this mechanical thing,
yeah,
and I'm like, well, like typically in fantasy, it's usually like a dwarf or a
yep,
gnome
yep.
that like makes the mechanical thing, and so I wonder if that's kind of the way it's going. And sure enough, that's kind of where it went. Um,
And we just have another character that's like,
yeah,
whatever.
that's just gonna get like pushed off to the side. And so I don't like I really don't know what to think about that. Like I don't think the 37 dwarves are going to come back and fight alongside them. I
Yeah.
think it's just Dathy. Oh, and we also got what's her name? Midi?
Medi, another character I did not care about.
Yeah. I'm like,
Mid,
what was the
Midia or whatever.
purpose? What was the purpose of her?
When they introduced her, I was literally thinking in my head, I was like, please only be on this page. And then they like
Yeah.
started talking about her. I was like, oh dear God.
God
Like,
damn it. Yeah.
like I was literally thinking this. I was like, this bitch is gonna follow him around. Like, like oh
Yeah,
no.
god damn it. I know. And she did nothing in this book. She did absolutely fucking nothing.
Yeah, just like
Like, what was
Azaria's
the.
friend. Well, she staved off the first bondage attempt.
Right, yeah.
She's like, whoa, Azaria, slow down. And then it's
Right,
like, well, it's gonna happen anyway. Yeah.
right. Yeah, I just don't know what that character doesn't have to. Like, I cannot see her coming back for any reason.
Yeah.
I think it would have been way better if it had just been Rezkin and Azaria, because then they wouldn't have had this third wheel
Yeah, I know.
and we would have seen more of their like relationship blossom.
Yeah.
And Medi was just like she didn't do anything. I don't know. I just don't. I would love to be able to have like a super honest, no holds barred conversation with Kelcade and be like, what were you thinking with this character? Like what was the purpose of this character?
Yeah.
And like obviously when she comes on the podcast, we have to be like cordial
Yeah.
and
Yeah, of course,
friendly
yeah.
and
A
stuff.
little bit respectful, you know?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
Probably
so
a good
like
idea.
yeah. And so like it's hard to have those like open questions
It
and
is,
stuff.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, you don't want to
Um,
like feel like you're backing them into a corner or something.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
That or just, it's
But
it's
I'm
her work, It's like
yeah.
it's like what she does. So
Yeah.
it sucks to I mean in anything it sucks to hear that somebody, may have not liked something you've
Right.
done or whatever.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's yeah.
And
It's
But it is
uncomfortable.
also part of, I mean, that's like, I feel like any writer should expect people, everybody's different.
yeah.
Like there's
Well,
no way that,
and it's good to remember that's part of what we do. Like we have
yeah, for sure.
developed this podcast as a critique podcast.
Yeah.
We don't shit on everything, but we look at things objectively, and when we were backstage before we started recording, I was like, I don't know, guys, and you're like, really? Like that's surprising because I'm like the KDT fan.
I know. Yeah.
And so for me to have criticisms and to be like it was not my favorite,
Yeah.
I think that says a lot. I mean, I have a King's Dark Tidings tattoo, a big one.
A big one. It's not small.
It's not small. So yeah, I think I think there's some warranted discourse on this book, and I hope that it turns around. But going back to like our final thoughts, I think the things that I'm interested in seeing is Weston's story. Honestly, surprisingly, I could do with less Reskin.
Wow.
I could do with less Reskin chapters and get more of the other like OG characters. Like give me more Tyrion POVs, give me more like Tam POVs or something like that.
Okay, idea for book 8 takes place during the same time period as book 7, but it's just the other half of the characters.
I know. Sam was telling me the other day, I haven't read Game of Thrones, but apparently there's one book
Oh
that
yeah.
it's just the previous book but a different set of
Yep.
characters.
Yep.
And I'm
People
like
generally hate that, I think, too.
yeah, for sure.
I liked it, to be honest.
Oh,
in Game
did
of
you?
Thrones. I did.
Okay.
Yeah. It was cool,
Interesting.
but,
Okay. Yeah, I think we legitimately need that for this book. Or really just like I think she could make books like 6 and 7 from the other perspective.
Mhm.
And there would be plenty to work with there.
Yeah.
But anyway, Weston's storyline, Reskin's storyline, I'm like kind of interested in. It seems like events have kind of evolved beyond Reskin at this point.
Yeah.
So, I love Reskin, but I could take it or leave it. And then I want to know the rest of Tam's storyline. And of course, I want to see like OG characters. I agree with the Reddit post. I want OG characters back. I'm tired of these new characters. They need to go away or not get brought up as much.
Right.
Yeah. Final thoughts for you guys.
No, I mean, I agree with pretty much everything you said there. Is the thing I'm curious about most is probably Mage Wesson, see his journey.
Same here.
I mean, Reskin's always great.
Yeah.
But
Reskin's like, predictable for the most part.
Sure.
We know what he's going to be doing for
Yeah.
sure. The next book.
Yeah.
But Wesson, it's a little more kind of out in the wind. So
yeah,
it's funner to speculate on
Yeah.
Wesson than it is Reskin, because we know
Yeah.
Reskin's going to be killing people and
doing Reskin things.
doing Reskin things.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. Yeah. I'm excited for Cena to get her fire. Hopefully she.
Oh
Yeah.
yes,
That'd be
whenever that
awesome.
happens, dude. I hope that happens in the middle of like a battle when they need
a
it
life
the
or
most.
death situation.
Right. Yeah.
Like Reskin's about to die and she just melts some dude.
Yeah,
That was
he's
like-
he's like, I had the sword at my throat. It was my very last breath, and then all of a sudden, the guy in front of me just dissolved into smoke.
Evaporates into dust.
That'd be so sick.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you gonna say, Chris?
I lost my train of thought.
Oh,
I was
I'm
gonna
sorry.
say something. No, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Wesson is what's keeping this series going for me. I'm just curious about him.
Yeah, I think so. He's kind of turned into like the fan favorite main character-ish kind of thing. So and I'm really curious what the next like Tales of Terralore are gonna be.
Yeah.
I was really pissed that we got Kai in this book, but we don't get to see his reunion with Reskin.
He's just off hunting.
Yeah, he's just
Yeah,
off hunting.
for
Like,
real.
why would you write that? Why wouldn't you write him there?
He's got a hunting trip, dude.
What the fuck? I'm like, have him, like, you're in control of the story.
Yeah.
Like, you have the choice to write him into that scene.
No, Kai was a great character. So was Shazar too. I liked him a lot. That chapter too. And they were just minimal. Yeah.
Oh God, I couldn't believe it. But that complaint stems from, I hope the next Tales of Terralore, like the short stories, or the standalones are.
Maybe the next one will be
Kai's-
a story about Kai hunting.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it's just his hunting trip.
Yeah, it's just his hunting trip.
The time that I was hunting when the person that I revere most in the entire world came
Was
back
right
and I had
back
no
at
idea.
home.
Yeah. Oh. All right. Well, I think that kind of wraps up our thoughts on this. I would say it's very, very complicated thoughts to like downright disappointed. And I really hope that the next book is able to kind of fix it and able to get back on track.
Bring it back around.
Yeah, and so I'm hoping as we kind of go towards the end of the series now that she's able to land the plane. I hope the books get longer. And even though I love shorter books, I just think that right now in King's Dark Tidings we need longer ones. I think we need more room to explore some of these things that have been introduced.
Yeah.
But yeah. Hopefully we get the plane landed here. All right, guys. Well, thank you, Chris, and thank you, Gabe, for hanging out today. And all three of us will be back together again when it comes time for maybe depending on if Kelcade does a interview with us in December, maybe that's the next time we'll be back together. But otherwise, we'll be back together probably December 22nd or 23rd, somewhere in there, I think. And we'll be doing our end of the year live stream where we get drunk and we talk about books that we liked throughout the year. I will be so surprised if Chris has 5 that he can rank.
I've had 5 every year. Just barely, but I've had it.
Barely. I will rank the 5 that I have read this year.
This book might actually make my top 5 list.
How sad is that?
Hey.
Okay. All right, everybody, we're gonna wrap it up there. We're gonna wrap it up there, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Our links are down in the description. We have Twitter, we have Discord, we have Patreon, where you can watch this live just as Shad is. That probably wasn't the best comment to bring up. I'm gonna watch it later. He's not talking about this. He's talking about.
Yeah, he's talking about the recap that Spencer made.
Yeah. And if you missed that and you need one, I did post a recap of books 1 through 6. So if you feel like you need a refresher on the first few books, go check that out. It is I think it's 2 hours and 40 minutes long. But there's chapters.
Well, you're trying to cover 6 books.
You're covering 6 books. Yeah, a lot of content. And there's chapters below. So if you just need book 4 or if you just need book 5 or whatever, you can just listen to that section. But there's some good jokes in there. I feel like there's some good. I think it was either book 2 or 3 where the beginning of that chapter was pretty funny. But anyway. That's neither here nor there. You can go to Patreon, watch these episodes live as we record them, just like Shad was, and chat with us while we do it. We do have a interview with Kelcade coming up. I don't know when, but she has agreed to come on for another one. So that'll be sometime in the next couple months, maybe in December, maybe not. But that'll be happening. So get your questions in. Put any questions for her in the comments of this video, or I'll make a Reddit post at some point, and you can put your questions in there. But yeah, with that, thank you so much for joining us, and let us know down in the comments what you thought of this book. I'm seriously so interested to see what you guys thought of this book. So please comment below and let us know. But with that, we will bid you adieu and have a good one, and we will see you in the next one. Thanks, everybody. Bye.